Jana, thank you so much for being here and for chatting with us today. This is great.
Thanks for having me.
All right, well, let's start at the very beginning. So what is TrueAngle all about?
Well, TrueAngle is a health tech company that is intending to empower people with personal health insights so that they can get back to enjoying their lives and living meaningful lives. And we're targeting health conditions like dysphagia, so that's the medical term for a swallowing disorder. And we really, as I said, we really want to empower patients who have this issue to be able to work on the exercises that we know are going to get them better from the comfort of their own home and give them the technology that they need to do this in a way that also keeps them connected. So that's another really important part of what we do is connecting people, whether that means connecting those patients who are using the technology with their clinician or working eventually to connect patients and clinicians and create a real community around the whole issue of dysphagia.
Wonderful. Why did you really want to start this company? What was the motivation for you?
So the motivation for starting this company was that we had a technology that we had created in the lab. We had created it with clinicians and patients. We had tested it, and we knew that we were getting great results with it. But there's one thing about having a technology in a lab versus being able to get it out to the broader population. And we realized that the only way to do that was to start a company and dive into being entrepreneurs and taking this technology to market.
Wow, that's a big leap, isn't it?
It felt like a really huge leap, Leah, but it has been one of the best leaps. It's really been so exciting for the whole team. We have a really strong team who has the drive, the motivation, the deep technological knowledge, the clinical knowledge. So we're really all excited about this.
No kidding. Tell me, how many people do you have in the company working for you right now?
So we have 7 people who are employed by the company. We also have 2 students who are working on their PhDs.
Perfect. And how many years would you say the organization has been around?
That's an interesting question as well. So we were technically on paper, we've been around for 4 years. But if we look at how we've been functioning as a business, it's more like 2.5 years. And our journey really began when we met our advisors. We got into the Creative Destruction Lab program. Great. We met our mentors and advisors through that program, including James Lockery, who is, of course, part of Thin Air. And that's when the business journey really began for us.
Terrific, terrific. So tell me about the impact that you really want to make. I imagine it has to do with these patients that you're targeting, but tell us about that impact that you're really driving.
For sure. I mean, of course, it's all about the patient. So when we talk about impact, it's when we hear stories, for example, of a patient who it took 5 hours for this particular person to drink a cup of coffee and without choking on it, and now can do that in 15 minutes. That's motivation for us. When we think about changing the life of someone who, when they're eating alone, they have their cell phone beside them programmed to 911 because they just don't know if they're going to choke on their food and need help. So it's these kind of stories that really provide the inspiration for us, where we know that the foundational knowledge around this technology and this exercise program, what we know from that is that patients can improve parts of how well they can live with dysphagia.
It is truly life-changing for these patients, isn't it?
Yes, that's what we've heard them say to us. So, yeah, for sure.
Wow, wonderful. What's next for TrueAngle?
Well, lots of stuff happening in the pipeline here. In the short term, we're going to be scaling up in the U.S. That's where we've released the product initially. We're also working on some local research studies as part of our drive towards getting Health Canada approval for this. We have aspirations to take this globally. We've had a lot of interest from our international colleagues who have reached out about when this will be available for them. And the other thing that we're quite excited about is when we were developing this technology, what rolled out of that was another technology, which is essentially a flexible electronic technology. And so there are lots of applications for that. So when we think about other verticals for our company, we know that there are going to be some other exciting sensing type of devices that are in our pipeline that we will be rolling out in the future. So that's really exciting to us as well.
No kidding. Lots on the go and lots to look forward to. Jana, thank you so much.
You're welcome, Leah. Thank you for inviting me to do this with you.